The next day, Ethan returned to his penthouse office, this time in his tailored suit, no hoodie, no disguise. He walked past executives who greeted him with polished smiles, past board members who measured success in quarterly profits. But his mind was still in the supply closet. With Rosa, later that afternoon, he called an emergency meeting with his senior leadership team. "I want names," he said firmly, "of every janitor, cafeteria worker, and night shift cleaner in this building. I want to know who they are, what they need, and why no one knows them." The room went quiet. "But, sir, those roles are outsourced," someone offered hesitantly. Ethan's voice hardened. "That doesn't make them invisible." That evening, he went back down, this time as the CEO. Rosa was cleaning the glass doors when he approached. Her eyes widened. "You wait your—" "Ethan Walker," he smiled. "Yes, but I meant what I said. And I haven't stopped thinking about your story." Rosa stepped back, nervous. "Did I do something wrong?" "No," he said. "You did everything right. And we did everything wrong by not seeing you." He handed her a small envelope. Inside was a letter, offering her a full-time position in the company's new employee outreach and wellness team, a furnished apartment close to work, and a scholarship fund in her son's name for children of struggling single parents. Tears welled in her eyes. She tried to speak, but couldn't. Ethan placed a hand gently on her shoulder. "You don't have to thank me. You already paid more than enough." That night, Rosa didn't sleep in a supply closet. She slept in her own bed, under clean sheets, with a door that locked from the inside, and a future that had finally opened. News of Rosa's story spread quietly at first. A few curious staff noticed the janitor now wore a badge that read, Employee Support Liaison. Others whispered when she walked into meetings with department heads. Her uniform replaced by modest business attire and her soft voice now carrying weight. But Rosa hadn't changed. She still stopped to help carry boxes, still greeted the overnight crew by name, still offered her lunch to the temp worker who'd forgotten his wallet. What changed was how people looked at her. One afternoon, Rosa stood in front of a group of interns, nervous, clutching her notes. It was her first company event as a speaker. "I used to think my story didn't matter," she began, voice shaking slightly. "That I was just a shadow on the edge of someone else's dream. But then someone saw me and reminded me I was still human." The room fell silent. "I lost my son. I lost my home. But I didn't lose my purpose. And now, I get to help others who feel invisible. If there's one thing I've learned, it's this. No job defines your worth. Your kindness does." When she finished, the room erupted in applause, some standing, some wiping their eyes. Ethan watched from the back, heart full. He had built towers and wealth, but this moment felt bigger than all of it. That night, Rosa returned to her new apartment, opened a folder, and pulled out her nursing certification. It was expired, but her hands still remembered how to heal. For the first time in years, she Googled, "How to renew your nursing license." Because maybe, just maybe, the story wasn't over yet. 6 months later, the company looked different. Ethan had launched a new internal initiative, the People Project. It focused on recognizing the silent contributors, offering scholarships, mental health support, and emergency housing for employees facing hardship. And at the heart of it all was Rosa. She had renewed her nursing license, not to leave her role, but to expand it. Now, she offered wellness checks for night shift workers, coordinated family support services, and, every Friday, led quiet grief sessions for those struggling silently, just like she once did. One afternoon, Ethan invited her to speak at the annual leadership summit. Hundreds of executives from across the country filled the grand ballroom. Rosa stood at the podium, heart pounding. "I was once just the woman cleaning your floor," she began. "But when someone looked past my job and saw me, everything changed. The truth is, you don't need to be wealthy to change lives. You just need to pay attention." She paused. Because in every company, in every city, there's someone sleeping in a supply closet, praying not to be seen. Don't wait to be a CEO to knock on that door. The room stood silent. Then, slowly, they rose, applauding not just for her story, but for the truth in it. After the speech, Ethan joined her backstage. "Still think your story didn't matter?" he asked, grinning. She smiled, tears glimmering. No, I just think it was waiting to be heard. That evening, as the sun dipped behind the skyline, Rosa walked past the old supply closet. She paused, opened the door, and stared into the shadows. Then quietly, she closed it behind her, not with shame, but with peace, because her story had finally stepped into the light, and the whole world had listened. Rain poured down hard that Monday morning as Ethan Walker stepped into the gleaming glass tower of Walker Enterprises, not as its billionaire CEO, but disguised in worn jeans, a faded hoodie, and a borrowed security badge. For 2 weeks, Ethan had gone undercover, determined to understand the lives of those forgotten in corporate reports, the janitors, the kitchen staff, the guards. He didn't want boardroom filters or HR summaries. He wanted the raw truth. That's when he noticed her. Every night, long after most had gone home, a slender woman in a gray uniform quietly cleaned the 18th floor. No complaints, no conversation, just silence and efficiency. But tonight, when he went back to retrieve his lost notebook, she was gone. Curious, Ethan checked the supply closet. And there she was, curled up in the corner, asleep on a flattened box, arms hugging a tattered backpack. He stepped back, stunned. A janitor, sleeping at work? Was she homeless? She stirred. Their eyes met. Hers widened in fear. "I'm sorry," she whispered, scrambling to her feet. "Please don't report me. I just needed a safe place. Just tonight." But Ethan wasn't angry. "What's your name?" he asked softly. "Rosa," she replied, voice trembling. That night, Ethan didn't sleep. He couldn't. He needed to know. Who was Rosa? And how had a woman so invisible to everyone become the most unforgettable part of his company? He had no idea that uncovering her truth would shatter his view of success forever. The next morning, Ethan returned early, still dressed as a temp worker. Rosa was already scrubbing the marble floor in the lobby, eyes down, hair tucked under a cap. No one greeted her. No one noticed her. "Hey," he said gently, handing her a coffee. "Rough night." She hesitated, eyeing him with cautious gratitude. "Thanks. I'm used to it." He wanted to ask more, but since she was guarding a world she wasn't ready to share. So he worked beside her, emptying trash bins, wiping windows, mopping floors. For days, he shadowed Rosa during late-night shifts. She moved like someone who had once carried dreams, but now walked only to survive. He saw her helping a new janitor lift heavy supplies, slipping an apple into the receptionist's bag when she thought no one saw, and picking up litter from the company's lawn on her break. It wasn't just how hard she worked. It was how quietly kind she was. Finally, one night, over a shared sandwich in the staff break room, he asked, "You've been here a while?" 3 years, Rosa replied. "Used to be a nurse. My son got sick. Bills piled up. I lost everything trying to save him." Ethan's heart sank. "And now?" he asked softly. "He's gone," she whispered. "And I just clean. I don't mind. It's honest work." Ethan sat in stunned silence. She wasn't just a janitor. She was a survivor, a mother, a silent warrior carrying invisible wounds. And yet, she gave more than she ever received. That night, something shifted in Ethan. For the first time, he truly understood the price of quiet dignity, and the strength it took to carry on when no one clapped for you. He decided then, Rosa's story wouldn't stay hidden in a supply closet.